Hello, everyone. As I mentioned earlier, we have a special guest. Serio here is with us to talk about the weather a little bit. We're facing, Sue, two storms coming our way. I have them up on the screen here, Storm 1 and Storm 2.
Yeah, we sort of escaped any winter weather all December long. It seems like as soon as the new year hit, we got a storm last weekend, and now here come two more. And we may get another one middle of next week, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll do one storm at a time. So the first one is expected to arrive tonight.
All right. It's pretty quiet on Ultimate Doppler right now. Not much to see the last couple hours. Maybe a little bit of cloud cover starting to move in there, but not too much.
I think the clouds will take over probably around lunchtime. And that's in advance of the precipitation, which we do not expect to begin until well after dark. Depends on where you live, but looks like it'll be cold enough for snow for a lot of us. The temperatures right now, as you can see, many of them are below freezing. We had a weak cold front come through overnight. So, yeah, it's just a degree above freezing in Wildwood and Dover. But I think these temperatures will probably rise into the mid-30s before the afternoon is through, maybe by about 4 o'clock. Feels a little colder than it actually is. Wind chills throughout our region are mostly in the 20s right now. We don't have a lot of wind, and we don't expect any today. But let's see what's coming up next. Yeah, see, the winds are not, it's a little breezy out there, but not a big deal at all.
Not much of the way of gusts right now either.
No. Pretty tranquil day. If you didn't know what was happening, you wouldn't dream that we were getting a snowstorm tonight.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's most of the wind chills are in the 20s. Some teens up to the north and west of the city. And what you got next?
I'll pull up the Futurecast here.
Yeah, there we go. There's some timing for you.
So that's going to roll all the way through. I'll pull that up again for you.
Yeah, and
do it a little bit
maybe
slower.
Maybe do a little...
there we go.
Yeah, oh, good. You can pause. So, yeah, there's about 8 o'clock. I would say between 8 and 10, most will start to see the first snowflakes. But if you're at the shore or southern Delaware, you'll probably only get rain out of this storm. I think it'll remain above freezing there. See where the green is in Atlantic City? That's rain, but above it is the pink, and that's the line between the rain and the snow, which could indicate the possibility of some sleet or a mix of precipitation. But most of the models are wanting to give us light snowfall in Philadelphia through the night. There's 4 in the morning when we start on Good Day Philadelphia. And I think that we may get a quick couple of inches in the mountains, in the Lehigh Valley, Berks and Lancaster County. Maybe, most models are calling for maybe a half an inch in Philadelphia. The problem is it's during the early part of the morning rush hour, and it will be slippery in some spots. You know, it doesn't take much to make a mess. By 8 or 9 o'clock, it's out of here. So it's a quick moving storm, not a major storm. It may be a blessing that some kids have off school tomorrow in advance of the holiday weekend.
Right.
Some kids have half a day. Maybe their whole day will get canceled. Who knows? But I think our biggest danger is slippery roads.
Here's a look at that storm moving in across the the east, and then across the middle of the country. That's where the second storm's coming from, right?
Yeah, West Coast, and it's bringing lots of rain to parts of California, Oregon, Washington State, and by the time it gets here, we're going to get a lot of precipitation as well.
I've got the Futurecast for that storm.
Yeah, now we're at Saturday evening, about 6 o'clock. You see some snow spreading into Philadelphia to the south of us. A very similar setup, but there's a lot more moisture with this storm, the weekend storm. So whatever you get, you'll get a lot more of it. If you get rain, it'll be a lot of rain, heavy at times, and places like up in the mountains could really see that snow pile up. But as you go through Saturday night into Sunday morning, you see the milder air moving in and rain taking over, even briefly up in the mountains. So that continues through the early part of Sunday. Now we see the storm itself exiting to the northeast. On the back edge of that storm comes some colder air. That could come as early, it looks like now, as 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and give us a quick couple of inches of snow to end the storm. And then the big drama will be how quickly it gets very, very cold. There's a shot of polar air moving in as soon as that storm moves out, giving the possibility of a flash freeze.
Okay.
Kathy and Scott have talked about that a lot last night on the news. We've been talking about it for a couple of days in the morning. It is rare that this happens, that the colder air will filter in so quickly. Usually we'll have a chance to dry out before that happens, but every surface is going to be wet, either with snow or rain, as a result of what happens all day on
So
Sunday.
you're going to have to be conscious of black ice.
We're going to ice up.
Yeah.
And I think with enough wind, and there are indications we could have some decent wind, we could see tree limbs come down, we could see power lines come down. So I would be prepared with the flashlights and a generator maybe for some power outages.
I've got your points here about Storm 1. As you said, late today and tomorrow morning we're going to feel the impacts here.
Yep. Yeah, so we get started at 4 on good day. I think it'll be snowing then. 5 to 8 a.m. is general. I think maybe around 7 o'clock the storm will be out of here. And there could be a couple inches on the ground in, let's say, Lancaster, maybe Allentown. Some icy spots everywhere, except the shore. I think it'll stay above freezing there.
Okay. And I know you had, pull this up. This is your forecast for today. So 35, it's mostly cloudy. It's later tonight that we start to feel the problems.
Precipitation. Yeah, it stays dry pretty much all day. It should be, chilly but decent day.
All right.
Again, if you didn't know, you'd never guess.
And then, we're calling today a 6 on the weather by the numbers.
Right, and I picked a 6 because it would be a lower number if the precipitation was coming earlier. But, I think we'll get through the day just fine.
All right. We could talk a little bit about the flash freeze that you mentioned. What things to watch for? Watch that temperature gauge on your dashboard while you're driving?
Yeah, and if you're going out in the afternoon on Saturday, you're looking out the window saying, oh, well, it's not that much snow, it's just an inch or two. Watch where you're walking, because anything that looks wet will be frozen fast. That's what, it's pretty much in the name, flash freeze. Things freeze up very quickly.
Right.
It wouldn't be unheard of that you'd be driving along on a wet roadway and all of a sudden have a spin out. It really will happen that quickly.
And then here is the 7-day.
There it is. Yeah, you see the arrow there on Sunday. Dramatic drop in temperature from an early high of 44 degrees. Afternoon temperatures will drop. We'll start the holiday Monday morning with a single-digit temperature, but the wind chills will be below zero on Monday. And with a high of only 16, we could still see below zero wind chills during the day on Monday because it is supposed to be kind of a blustery day.
Unfortunately, that's a morning. There won't be as many students at the bus stops that morning.
No, kids are off school, but a lot of people are doing service projects.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, did you know that Philadelphia has the largest, of course you did, the largest Martin Luther King service project assembly, I guess you would say, in the country.
Our local school district has started to do something like that through the last couple of years. So.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see. The problem is the outdoor service projects might have to be postponed with this bitter, bitter cold.
Yeah, and Tuesday morning, it looks like it'll be almost as cold Tuesday morning.
Yeah, it will. Now we'll recover to maybe, I wouldn't even call that regular cold, because a normal high temperature for this point in January is around 40.
Is this the much spoken of polar vortex that you hear about a lot?
Yeah, this is air right from the North Pole. Thank you, Santa Claus.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate it, and helping us understand what we're facing.
Well, stay safe through all of this, and like I said, we'll be with you through Good Day tomorrow to get you through tomorrow morning's storm.
That sounds great. Thank you, Sue. Here's another look at those two storms. We'll be watching. Of course, we'll have Sue and our weather team, the Fox 29 Weather Authority, will have the forecast for you on the Fox 29 News at 5, 6, 10, and 11 tonight. You can get it anytime on our Weather Authority app. We've got the video forecast in there. You can get the school closings and stuff if you flip around in there. We also have them in our news app. So the video forecast is in the news app too now. So
use the weather app all the time for the radar especially.
works.
I can promise you, the minute I wake up tomorrow, I'll be, where's the snow?
The hourly forecast, so you know, especially with the temperatures going up and down, that's going to be important to check. Thank you very much, Sue. I appreciate it.
Okay.